watching KOMO News.
She didn't deserve what this person did to her.
Breaking now, an arrest made after a mother is killed in front of her children. Who police say did it and what her family wants you to know tonight.
Plus, could the mask mandate return? The alarming data that has experts recommending them and how the governor's responding.
Then at 11:15, caught on camera who threw an explosive device at officers.
Breaking now as we come on the air here at 11, police track down the man they say shot and killed a young mother in front of her 3 children in Tacoma. Within the last couple of hours, we learned police did arrest her boyfriend.
He's expected to be charged with domestic violence, murder, and aggravated assault against a child. Tonight, the victim's mother told us she never saw any signs of trouble.
KOMO's Joel Marino live tonight in Tacoma with the breaking new details and the family's reaction to her death. Joel?
At Preston and Mary, the victim's mother says she was desperate to know who was responsible for this cold-blooded killing, and she never suspected the boyfriend. She says she only met him once, and her daughter seemed happy and focused on raising a family here at this apartment building. Just 24 years old, Alicia Simpson was focused on being the best mom to her 3 children, ages 5, 3, and 2. Simpson's mother, who doesn't want her face shown on camera, says she never imagined she'd lose her daughter like this.
It was a complete shock to me.
Officers found Simpson dead at this apartment complex after a neighbor heard Simpson's young children crying out from a balcony. Investigators say she'd been shot and her kids had witnessed it.
Heartbroken. She didn't deserve this.
What led up to the shooting isn't clear, but police ran down leads and arrested Simpson's 21-year-old boyfriend. Simpson's mother says she never would have suspected.
I'm not aware of any relationships that were strained. I'm just waiting for the police to tell me what they found out.
In addition to murder, police say the boyfriend also committed aggravated assault against a child. Previously, investigators said none of Simpson's kids were physically hurt, so it's unclear what's behind that allegation. Simpson's mother says her family is devastated, and her focus now is on getting her grandchildren out of protective custody and back where they belong.
I just want them home with me. It's breaking my heart that they're with strangers right now instead of where they need to be.
Well, based on the time of his arrest, the boyfriend could go before a judge tomorrow. The victim's family has set up an account to help with expenses, and we put a link on our website at KOMOnews.com. Back to you.
Tacoma has already seen 23 homicides so far this year. That's more than double the count for the same time last year when 11 people were killed. We're also just learning tonight a Seattle firefighter is recovering after he was hurt while responding to a fire this evening. Investigators say the fire broke out inside a rail car near Boeing Field around 8:30. The cause is still not known. The firefighter was taken to Harborview Medical Center where he is in stable condition tonight. Officials did not say how the firefighter was hurt.
New tonight, a major step in the search to find Seattle's next chief of police. Today, Mayor Bruce Harrell named that committee that will help in that search. It's made up of 14 local leaders and public safety experts. A firm will conduct a nationwide search for candidates. The committee will then select 5 finalists from Mayor Harrell to choose from. Final approval will come by way of a vote from City Council.
The next chief will also have their hands full with recruiting new officers. Last month, Interim Chief Adrian Diaz said 43 officers left between January and March. 13. The head of the police union says the staffing crisis is far worse, saying 60 officers left. SPD says their figures are from Human Resources and are accurate. Happening tomorrow, Diaz and other local leaders will discuss public safety in Seattle. This comes after a recent survey found 67% of Seattleites have considered moving out of the city. Diaz is expected to share how law enforcement is addressing local safety concerns and the changes the department has made in the past few years. That meeting is set for tomorrow night at 6 o'clock at Town Hall, Seattle.
Tonight, the governor wants to see the state move faster when it comes to fighting the homeless crisis. He says a big step in fixing this problem is housing the homeless who live along local freeways. KOMO's Mo Hyder explains.
Just along this entrance ramp to I-5 in South Lake Union, tents and debris scattered.
It's sad. It's profoundly sad.
There's another encampment underneath this portion of I-5 northbound. People we spoke would say they're starting to notice more near state highways.
I've lived in Seattle for 7, 8 years now, and it's just gotten worse as I've lived here.
At a news conference earlier today, Governor Inslee laid out details about the state's plan to fight the homelessness crisis. He says a focus will be on state right-of-ways.
I believe this is both a moral obligation to get people out of these unsafe conditions and into the kind of rapid supportive housing that is both good for them, but will remove this blight along the right-of-ways of the state of Washington.
An effort that comes with a multi-million-dollar price tag.
So I'm pleased that the legislature joined me in appropriating $50 million this year that is dedicated to this transition for folks that today are living on our right-of-ways.
Teams from WashShot and Washington State Patrol will coordinate with local governments and nonprofits.
Teams are going to be doing outreach to encampment residents and may be able to begin transitioning people and offering services as early as mid-June.
People say they support the state's plan, but still wonder, will it solve the problem in the long run?
Any of these measures are going to actually help things is, I'm skeptical, I guess.
In Seattle, Mo Hyder, KOMO News.
Taking a live look at Seattle tonight, Mayor Bruce Harrell promising a detailed blueprint for dealing with the city's homeless and addiction crisis and crime associated with it. His office told KOMO the plan will be announced by the end of the month.
Tomorrow, we'll get a better idea of just how much outreach was done during last week's clearing of a sprawling encampment at Woodland Park in Seattle. Just after taking office in January, Mayor Bruce Harrell named addressing homelessness at this park a major priority. The mayor's office says close to 100 people at the camp were connected with shelter and housing. In Tacoma, more than 12,000 pounds of debris was removed from a sprawling homeless encampment near Peoples Park. The city began clearing out the camp today, but says its outreach team has been visiting that camp since March to connect people with housing.
In Edmonds tonight, homeless campers could face steep fines or even jail time over a new ordinance the city council just passed. It's a story we first brought you on KOMO News last night at 11. It's now a misdemeanor for someone to camp overnight or store their belongings on public property. If shelter space within 30 miles is available but refused, that person could be fined up to $1,000 and sentenced up to 90 days in jail.
What are the next steps in the cases that they can't afford $1,000 or even a lesser fine? What are their options in those cases?
It could be a community service project done in lieu of the fine.
Edmonds chief of police says an organization is planning a large project there, and the city is in talks with Snohomish County to acquire and operate a motel respite program. That's still in the early planning stages.
The trial date for one of the teenagers accused of killing a Tacoma pot shop worker is now scheduled for next year. That date was pushed back from June. Prosecutors say 16-year-old Montrell Hatfield shot and killed Jordan Brown during the pot shop robbery. He's also accused of taking part in several violent robberies in King and Pierce counties.
Here's a look at the court cases we're keeping an eye on as you start your day tomorrow. The man accused of shooting 2 people at a homeless shelter in Ballard is expected to enter a plea. George Sloan was a no-show for his scheduled court appearance last week. Sloan is charged with assault in the 1st and 2nd degree following the shooting at St. Paul's United Church of Christ last month. A man charged in 2 rape cases in Seattle is also expected to enter a plea. Myron Jacobs is accused of raping 2 women in tents in 2 separate incidents. The second incident happened just days after he was released from custody. And an arraignment is scheduled for Nicholas Van Cleve tomorrow. He's charged with murder after prosecutors say he killed his roommate, then dismembered his body in Federal Way.
Tonight, Bellevue police are trying to figure out how human remains ended up in a wetlands area. A city worker found the bones while doing maintenance this morning along 150th Place Northeast. Investigators say it appears the remains had been there for several years.
Now to the coronavirus pandemic. Could masks make a comeback here in Washington state? Take a look at this map. According to the CDC, Clallam County is only one of 4 of the states, or one of the state's 39 counties labeled in high community levels of COVID-19. New data will come out tomorrow, but based on the current data, the CDC recommends any area in the high category should return to wearing masks. Areas in medium, highlighted in yellow on the map, should also consider prevention measures. Now, with cases steadily climbing, we asked the governor today if there are any plans to bring back a statewide mask mandate.
That's not under consideration right now. So we don't have any immediate consideration of additional measures like that. And we may have some changes on this in the next week or so. We'll discuss in a few days, probably.
And we did reach out to Clallam County about the possibility of returning to masks, but they did not return our request for comment.
Now let's get a live look at the waterfront near the cruise ship terminal. The CDC is investigating more COVID outbreaks on cruise ships, including on the Carnival Spirit currently docked here in Seattle. So here is the breakdown. Right now, 87% of the 95 cruise ships are under CDC investigation. That's what you see in orange. In yellow, that's where the CDC is monitoring COVID cases, but there aren't enough for an investigation. 9% have no COVID cases reported.
The Independent Advisory Committee to the CDC is expected to issue its recommendation on boosters for kids 5 to 11 tomorrow. So that means shots could be going into arms by Friday. The FDA gave boosters a thumbs up yesterday, saying children can get their third shot at least 5 months after their primary vaccines. That vote is scheduled for noon tomorrow.
Still ahead, addressing the baby formula shortage, what the president is doing to speed up production.
Plus election headaches in Oregon, the ballot problem that's holding up several races tonight.
And a look at a picture from a long time ago. This is from May 16th, 1980. Look at that on the horizon. Mount St. Helens a couple of days before she blew, as captured by Carl. So great picture. Lots of memories of that going on tonight. As we head into tomorrow, we are going to see the sunshine making a comeback. Can it last as we head into this May weekend? We'll discuss it coming up in my forecast.
And the House passes a bill to prevent domestic terrorism. It's one of the 4 to Watch stories that we're following for you tonight. We'll be right back.
KOMO weather is brought to you by Tulalip Resort Casino.
Save big when you buy a new fuel-efficient vehicle from Corum Hyundai. Whether it's the Hyundai Elantra or the Ioniq 5, Corum has the vehicle for you. Vehicles arriving daily. Shop online at CorumHyundai.com or visit us in Meridian and River Road in Puyallup.
From our first handcrafted batches of paint through today, Miller paints are uniquely formulated for the Pacific Northwest with colors that welcome us home. Miller paints are made here for here.
If you struggle with CPAP, you should check out Inspire.
Honey?
Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Learn more and view important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
It's your personal security detail. It's your invisible enforcer. It's your blind spot spotter, dedicated protector, precious cargo carrier, IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. The Hyundai Tucson, Palisade, and Santa Fe. It's your journey. Own it.
The 2022 Tucson comes with complimentary maintenance and America's best warranty. Vehicles arriving daily. See your Western Washington Hyundai dealer.
Buying a house is complicated, so embracing stuff. Heard it brings good luck.
Well, maybe try Chase My Home. You can search homes and loans together.
I'm not listening.
Shows what you can afford. Plus, close on time or get $5,000. So you can stop breaking stuff.
Uh-huh. Come on, bring it in. Sorry about your stuff.
Take the easier way home. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Columbia Fire is your true one-stop shop for fire sprinkler installation, testing, and repair. You name it, we've done it. Schools, office buildings, residential, we've protected the Northwest for over 35 years. Schedule your service at columbiafire.net today.
Beacon Plumbing is all about the community, from the hydroplanes
and Miss Beacon Plumbing wins the
to helping feed the community and employing the community. From everyone at Beacon Plumbing, thank you, Seattle. Stop freaking, call Beacon.
New video just coming in tonight shows a Molotov cocktail explode. There it is, just feet away from 3 Atlanta police officers there. Protesters confronted officers at the future site of a police training facility. That's when they say protesters threw the Molotov cocktails at officers. The one you see here started that fire. Clearly, another one thrown did not explode. Police say no one was hurt. Officers did arrest 7 people during that demonstration.
At the White House tonight, President Biden invoked the Defense Production Act to address the widespread baby formula shortage. This means officials can now direct supplies of formula ingredients to prioritize delivery to formula manufacturers. Biden also said he's creating Operation Fly Formula, which directs the Agriculture and Health and Human Services departments to import formula using the Defense Department's commercial planes. Now over to Wall Street tonight. Economists believe a recession is on the horizon. This comes after the Dow sank more than 1,100 points, and the S&P 500 had its biggest drop in nearly 2 years. Big earnings misses by Target and other major retailers stoked investors' fear that surging inflation could cut deeply into corporate profits. And tonight, the Department of Homeland Security is warning of threats against the Supreme Court following the leak of the Roe v. Wade draft opinion. In a memo, officials said extremists are encouraging violence on social media. There's now an 8-foot non-scalable fence around the building, and U.S. Marshals are working to provide around-the-clock security at the justices' homes.
The Department of Homeland Security pausing its short-lived Disinformation Governance Board pending a review of the larger strategy behind it. It's the first in the 4 to Watch stories that'll be developing as you start your day tomorrow. The person tapped to lead the group, Nina Jankowicz, who was accused herself of putting out disinformation, has resigned as a result. Both Jankowicz and a DHS spokesperson claimed the group had itself become a target of disinformation since its creation was announced late last month. A DHS official claimed Jankowicz was, quote, the subject of some particularly vicious and unfair attacks. North Korea appears to be prepping to test a nuclear intercontinental ballistic missile tomorrow as the president arrives to visit with South Korean officials. According to the Yonhap news agency, North Korea has been gauging the timing to conduct what would be its 7th nuclear test after completing its preparations. The U.S. House just passing a bill along party lines aimed at preventing domestic terrorism and the threat of violent extremism by white supremacists. The Domestic Terrorism Prevention Act of 2022, that only had 1 Republican vote, would set up offices that track and analyze domestic terrorist activity with the goal of preventing future attacks. And the bill, of course, comes in the wake of that horrific mass shooting over the weekend at a supermarket in a predominantly black neighborhood in Buffalo, New York. The president spent the day with key Democratic senators to discuss the issue of student loan debt. The president has been under pressure to fulfill a campaign promise to cancel student loans. Biden has repeatedly paused federal student loan repayments, now extended through August 31st. The White House has indicated the president would support congressional action to eliminate up to $10,000 worth. But with Democrats' slim majority in Congress, President Biden may have to rely on executive order to take action.
Developing in Oregon tonight, delayed ballot counting in one county is holding up several races in the primary election. Clackamas County officials say the delay is due to blurry barcodes that machines can't read. That means election workers have to recreate each ballot by hand. The county chair and secretary of state called the delay unacceptable, adding County Clerk Sherry Hall did not accept help from state officials ahead of the election.
They must take the steps necessary to correct this problem they knew about weeks ago.
The county commission diverted 200 employees to help recreate these ballots. And while that's underway, Oregon's governor's race is making state history. 3 women will face off to be the next governor. Tina Kotek clinched the Democratic nomination. Christine Drizzow has the Republican nomination, and Betsy Johnson is a non-affiliated candidate. Governor Kate Brown cannot run again due to term limits.
2 men and a 2-year-old child are safe tonight after crews had to rescue them from their rowboat today. So this video from Washtenaw camera shows the Mount Baker Rowing Club's safety boat hitting up against the I-90 bridge on Lake Washington. Seattle Fire says the club brought the men and child into their boat, but also had trouble in the rough water. You can see just how rough it was as Harbor Patrol there arrived and brought everyone to shore. No one is hurt.
All right, so that's what it was like earlier today, hoping that that's long in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, we're going to keep putting it in the rearview mirror. And actually, I think in the forward-facing mirror, we're going to like what's to come because it's been a while since we've had some really comfortable weather to look forward to. Yeah, today, though, looking backward again, these were some of the big waves hitting our shoreline areas around Whidbey Island. As we spoke about, we had winds upwards of 50 to 60 miles per hour north of Whidbey and closer to the Canadian border today, and plenty gusty here around Puget Sound proper as well. So made for some beautiful pictures as captured here today by Gary Skiff near Deception Pass. But as we saw there, it made for some trouble on the waterways for the small crafts as well. We are going to continue to see the winds easing overnight. For Thursday, we're going to have that old familiar pattern of the showers and the sun breaks. We know that well around here. But finally, finally turning the corner by Friday, heading into a glorious May weekend. Both Saturday and Sunday looking nice and mild, partly to mostly sunny, mainly dry, and we're hoping to hit the first 70 degrees of the month of May. It's been a while since we've been that warm. Right now, looking back from the Columbia Tower over downtown, beautiful night here in the Emerald City, isn't it? Wind's easing, so we're no longer seeing this camera shaking around, feeling like we were getting seasick earlier when we were watching it, but much better by now. 46 degrees, we've got partly starry skies. Still windy enough that we're seeing sustained winds at SeaTac to 20, but those will continue to come down little by little as we head into the overnight. 20 beats the 40 plus we had going for the evening commute. Bremerton also clocking in with a 40-degree gust earlier today. Bellingham leading the pack here on the map anyway at 55. And then in eastern Washington, we had the gusty winds jumping the Cascades. Ellensburg hit 60 miles per hour today, and we had loads of trouble with blowing dust there through the Columbia Basin. The winds really picking that up. Some tumbleweeds there across parts of eastern Washington today, too. We're seeing the showers continuing to fall even as the winds ease. Even have a little convergence zone starting to set up shop here in the north end of the Sound. You can see the lighter rain hanging on around Port Ludlow, Matts Bay, back toward Liberty Bay as well. But right here, that line of heavier showers, that's the old convergence zone getting going here, and you can see that in particular it's focusing on Roosevelt, Monroe, and Gold Bar this evening. Up in the Cascades in the meantime, look at all of the winter white, or blue as the case may be on the winter radar. That's the snow continuing to fall over the top of Stevens Pass. Could even see some spotty snow over Snoqualmie Summit overnight, and look at that temperature, 32 degrees over the top of the summit, 40s here around the lowlands of Puget Sound. So what gives? When is the warm-up finally going to show up? If we look at the upper level pattern, big area of high pressure starting to build offshore. As that ridge grows in our direction, we're going to see temperatures starting to inch up into the 60s by Friday, and finally our first 70-degree readings of the month by Saturday and Sunday. So overnight tonight, scattered showers. You saw that convergence zone going. Tomorrow's going to be a day of showers and sun breaks, leading into the sun breaks little by little. Temps still mainly 50s to about 60, and again, not completely dry yet, but heading in that direction. Still breezy, but no longer windy through the Strait or through the Ocean Beach communities. Gusts in the neighborhood of about 35 miles per hour instead of the 50 to 60 we had going. So we're making some progress. And then in eastern Washington, still some lingering May showers with temps mainly in the 60s. So tomorrow's kind of a transition day for us. Still a little breezy, still a little showery from time to time, even a stray thunderstorm possible. But as we head into the weekend, finally, we're talking about upper 60s to low 70s. We have not hit 70 for this month of May at SeaTac Airport. It's been a long time. Looks like we'll finally do it, and just in time for a weekend as well.
Wow, 71?
I know. Hey, 71.
Wow.
Sounds fantastic.
Thanks, Shannon.
You're welcome.
The following segment is sponsored by Washington Savings Plans.
Time now for our class of 2022 salute. This is Maggie Way of Woodinville. Her family describes her as a rock star, a high schooler, all-around wonderful person. Maggie has a 4.0 grade point average, served as president of her high school Rotary Club, also won first place at the state's Future Business Leaders of America competition. She's headed to UW this fall and hopes to fulfill her childhood dream of becoming a kindergarten teacher. Congratulations to Maggie and the entire class of 2022. Remember to share a candid photo of your grad with us and why they deserve a class of 2022 salute. We might show them right here on KOMO TV. To enter and see the rules, just go to komonews.com/graduation.
Well, congratulations to the Mariners as well. They finally won in Toronto. Those bats waking up when they need them the most. How it all went down against the Blue Jays when we come back.
Looking for a new place to live around here? Not for the faint of heart, right? Tomorrow morning, our expert reveals whether it makes more sense to rent or to own right now. KOMO Morning News begins at 4:30.
The So Northwest Drone Shot on KOMO News is brought to you by Muckleshoot Bingo, the destination for Mashingo. Follow your adventures with the rugged power of Honda, the most fuel-efficient, full-line automaker in America. Hurry in to a local Honda dealer where new vehicles are arriving daily.
Seattle Rep presents Bruce, a world premiere musical that takes you behind the scenes of the making of the first summer blockbuster. In 1974, a virtually unknown 26-year-old director sets out to film off Cape Cod. Mayhem ensues between endless delays, an exploding budget, and a highly dysfunctional mechanical star named Bruce. Based on the Jaws log by Carl Gottlieb, Bruce surfaces May 27th at Seattle Rep. Get your tickets at seattlerep.org.
Follow your adventures with the rugged power of Honda, the most fuel-efficient full-line automaker in America. Hurry in to a local Honda dealer where new vehicles are arriving daily.
We got a chubby and cheeky show for you tonight.
Kimmel makes late night
I've never felt less attractive than I do right now.
look good.
I like your style on this show. Maybe I'll come back in 5 years.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, new weeknights on ABC and stream on Hulu.
At Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, we make sure your favorite spot is designed to be super comfortable. Whether you're a cuddler, an upside-downer, a leg dangler, or all of the above. Announcing the Lazy Boy Memorial Day sale. For a limited time, you can save 30% on everything in the store. Plus, you'll receive 36 months special financing on your purchase.
What do you think?
Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Have you heard Downton Abbey A New Era is triumphant entertainment?
Why didn't you tell me? You shouldn't be so untrusting.
This is the Downton we know and love at its lavishly entertaining best.
Kept myself out of trouble with some difficulty, I might add.
Return to theaters for the epic chapter that cannot be missed. The British are coming. Downton Abbey, A New Era. Rated PG.
Might it not be better with a big romantic climax?
The must-see motion picture event. Only in theaters Friday.
Dude, great ride, right? This Silverado keeps me connected and in control. And this touchscreen is my command center. My command center.
The 2022 Silverado LT. Find new control. Find new roads.
Well-qualified Northwest buyers can get 1.9% financing on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups. See your Northwest Chevy dealer.
Boeing is hiring for engineering, manufacturing, and quality positions. Apply now.
And now, the KOMO Sports Desk with Nico Tamurian, presented by Xfinity.
It was a pretty awesome day in Seattle sports. I got to level with you there. That is the best way to say it because we often have so many of our teams in action on the same day, right? But for all of them to come out on top, that gives new meaning to the phrase winning Wednesday. And my goodness, did the Mariners need it? Running into trouble in Toronto after that awesome series with the Mets over the weekend. Cal Raleigh gets things rolling. Did you know he only has 4 hits all season, but 3 of them are home runs, including this one, which helps a ton. 2-1 Mariners at that point. Ty France just put him in the All-Star game right now. Slams it out to deep left center field. 2-run blast. Ty has 6 home runs and 27 RBI already this season. Abraham Toro adding the insurance in the ninth. Ball game over. Seattle beats the Blue Jays 5-1 the final.
It's been a rough trip here in Toronto after we played really well in New York. So you look up and we're 3-3 on the trip. We go to Boston and hopefully finish strong.
Yeah, that is the hope, isn't it? That's just it. 4 games in Boston starting tomorrow, the last leg of this road trip before coming home next Monday to take on Oakland. Always great to hear from Scott Service. Monumental news, meanwhile, for Team USA Soccer. The men and women's national teams will officially now split the pay from the collective bargaining agreement. In short, equal pay for both teams. No more non-guaranteed contracts for the women's team, which, of course, is led by OL Reign star Meg Rapinoe. The new deal takes effect in June and includes the men and women's World Cups taking place over the next 2 years, respectively. Certainly, conditions need to improve in the WNBA in that regard as well. Our hometown Storm taking on Chicago in a battle of the last 2 champions. Nothing much better to witness on a basketball court than a Sue Bird 3-pointer, right? Helps the Storm to the early lead in that one. Defense leading to offense just a little bit later. How about at the other end here? It's Sue with the steal. Gabby Williams flies in, lays it up and in off the pass right here from Jewel Lloyd, and Seattle leads by a dozen. Now, there's so much star power on this team. We have to give a shout out here to Ezzy Magmagor. Dominant inside in this one. 21 points to lead all scorers. Tack on 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and yeah, that's a ball game right there. Stewie adds 13, including the basket and 1. A little bit later on, so the Storm hangs on to win 74-71. First win since the season opener. And I told you this was the perfect Seattle sports day because 1 goal in the first half is all the Sounders needed. Raul Ruiz-Diaz is on fire. Sounders 1, Houston 0. Brian Schmetzer will take that kind of win all day.
Nobody's going to care in September or October how or why we won the game. So that is a happy locker room. I'm a happy coach. There's happy assistant coaches. And I think the whole club should be pleased with the result.
I've gone back to back.
And a lot of happy sports fans in Seattle. Sounders still on the road at Colorado Sunday before coming home to face Charlotte Memorial Day weekend. This is a good sportscast. My work is done here. They all won.
And I'm happy.
You're happy, Mary's happy, Shannon's happy, we're all good.
Thanks, Nico. We'll be right back.
Great news. All Cine excavators now in stock. 5-year, 5,000-hour warranty. Kids have tractor and equipment.
Get ready for the
You had me at Allison 10-speed transmission. Premium features available on GMC Sierra Heavy Duty. Step up to GMC with 0% financing on Sierra Heavy Duty models. GMC, we are professional grade.
From our first handcrafted batches of paint through today, Miller paints are uniquely formulated for the Pacific Northwest with colors that welcome us home. Miller paints are made here for here.
New projects means new project managers. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/hire and get started today.
I've travelled all over the country talking about saving with Geico, but that's the important bit, isn't it? Showing up, saying, hello, fancy a nice chat. And then we talk like two old friends about sticky buns and all the savings you could get by bundling your home and car insurance. But here's the real secret. Eye contact. Do you feel that? We just had a moment. Who'd have thought it?
Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance.
And it's Liberty Bell closest to the rail. Around the back turn. And here's our horses come. That record way on the outside. And there we go on the track. They come down the line again. They're neck and neck. Across the goal. Here's the rider.
Add drama to every drive. The exhilarating Audi SUV family. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Well, the winds continue to ease out there tonight, so hopefully everybody will sleep a little bit better this go round. We do have some scattered showers out there, especially in the Puget Sound convergence zone. Those will start to alternate with some sun breaks tomorrow. Highs in the upper 50s, and again, as we head toward the weekend, approaching 70 for the first time this month.
We'll take a look at this. 150 goats helping clear overgrown vegetation at a park in San Antonio, Texas. We've seen that around here, too. The Brackenridge Park Conservancy and the city's Park and Recs Department hired the goats to clean up 7 acres. The goats allow for the clearing of unwanted plant species and brush without the need for mowing or herbicides. They are just mowing down. And, of course, they can reach places where heavy machinery can't go. So it's a win-win-win.
That's a pretty cool little stunt.
Yeah. That's it for us. Stay tuned for Jimmy Kimmel Live.
KOMO News is back at 4:30 a.m. for breaking news updates. Follow us on KOMOnews.com, Facebook, and Twitter. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel.
Hi, I'm Nico Tamurian. Together, we bring you the best in late-night news and entertainment.
We do. We're a great duo, like Superman and Clark Kent.
Jimmy, I love it, but you know that's the same guy, right?
What?